Nah, son. Nah, son. It ain't nah, son. So um it's come to the internet's attention, not everybody, but just the people involved, that one of the people who I promoted on my show recently, literally, I was the voice in the background. My name is Donald Capers. I produced the link. Let's talk about it. Capital DC Presents is my platform. And you know, as a person with like 300 subscribers, not even, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, do I really have to address this? But it's something that I'm going to address real quick. So basically, um, I had the cast of The Risen King on the show to promote their show. And during the show, uh, there was a part where um, the guest performers were brought up. And I was told that one of the guest performers would be someone who I had met personally, know personally, heard a lot of wonderful things about, and had uh, attempted to work with in the past. So, um, man, I'm trying to stay out of it because I'm not in it. You know what I'm saying? But my part was I said, shout out to the brother. I ain't never heard nothing bad. You see what I'm saying? So at this point, I'm sitting here saying, nah, I don't participate in the things that were said that's going on with these folks. I don't know the brother well enough to have any information about that. But uh, from my words now, knowing what I know now, knowing what I said then, I'm saying now that I'm not mad at consenting adults who had relationship issues. I'm not mad that people was preaching and teaching and pastoring and working in the church and having these type of this lifestyle going on. I'm not angry. I'm more. I'm not shocked. You know what I'm saying? I'm more like obviously at first I was like his brother just trying to chase clout, but then I was informed that there was another person who was speaking up. So this person was pretty much speaking up to say, before y'all try to derail this person's truth, let me give you my truth. So when I saw what was going on, I decided to take a hard look at the situation and what I've seen in real life and what I've been around and the feelings I had about what was going on. Like I said, I'm not involved. I never have been involved with anybody. I have not been involved with young men in any way. I have not groomed anyone. I haven't shown anybody the ways of sexuality um, in a physical way. I try not to interrupt people depending on where their mentality fall. You know what I'm saying? It's literally been my life's work to talk about sexuality and sex and desire in a way that's healthy. So I'm gonna try to do that here, even though this situation I don't agree with none of this stuff. Like that's just not my lifestyle. But like, okay, so when you think you might feel like something's going on with people, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot more about a lot more people. I know a lot of stuff about a lot of people in my area. So when I meet somebody who I don't know personally and I don't know their business, I'm a little leery actually. I'm like, how come I never ran into you? You know what I'm saying? Because I was in certain spaces and places where community was being built, art was being done, spirits was being uplifted. I've been in places and spaces like that mostly. Even my party spaces were like recovery party spaces because I used to DJ with my dad when, like throughout college and high school. All of the parties I went to was DJing with my dad, you know what I'm saying? That and he was DJing for substance abuse recovery um, parties that he was throwing and promoting and stuff like that. So I saw a lot of stuff at those parties, and these people ain't using drugs at all. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying to live good lives. This is the whole point, is that we're living a better life. And I saw a lot of different things happen amongst adults who are consenting and above the age of 25 and 30 and stuff like that. So to hear about this happening in the church, I'm not shocked or surprised. And that's the problem. That's why I'm making this video, because I'm not shocked or surprised. I'm not a part of the community. Yet I know this is how things have gone with a lot of people. It's almost the video I saw and the live I watched, it pretty much was like a step by step of how grooming happens in these communities because we don't talk about this stuff. We don't allow our brothers and sisters who want to practice a faithful, godly life to also practice a faithful, godly life sexually. You know what I'm saying? We keep disconnecting it. I am not here to say who should or could put what where. I'm not there when it's happening. You know what I'm saying? I can only say, hey, bro, if you do you want to be there? Do you want to be doing that? If not, that's not cool. The age situation is beyond me. That's not, I don't know how to put myself in a space where I'm intrigued with a young person's physical attributes. Like, you know what I mean? I can see you, I can see development, I can see puberty, I can see beyond years body growth. I can see all of those things with young women, but that's not for me, you know. That's not for me, y'all. Like, so the reason anyway, so I once sat down with my pastoral mentor, Pastor Tommy McLean, and I asked him specifically, like, yo, I don't want to be one of these dudes who have secrets. I want to be able to be open and honest and not have these secrets because I've built my life up to become one of these dudes, yo. Like I'm in the church, I'm not talking to women, I'm trying to save myself from marriage, and then I'm hearing stories from women in the church where they getting abused or taken advantage of or not being married by the dudes in the church. So I'm like, wait a minute, if y'all getting them already, who am I supposed to marry? If I'm marrying the people from anyway. So basically I asked, how do I make sure I avoid becoming one of those people? Because I like what I see. I like how it feel. I like what I like. I like pretty. I like beautiful. I like new shiny things. You know what I'm saying? I like that stuff. So how do I keep myself away from liking it from the wrong person, people, direction, all of that? And he said he had to really pray, like for real, take some time to be with have no pride, be completely at fault for the way you feel type of prayer, where it's like, how do I never cross these lines? You know what I'm saying? You have to draw a line. You know what I mean? You have to really be like, I'm helping people. There's no way I can help you if I'm intertwining lies into the help. I'm not helping you if I'm lying to you. I'm not helping you if I'm doing your work for you. I'm not helping you if I do it for you. If I show you by doing it to you, that's not helping you. That's helping myself. That's helping us. You know what I mean? And it's like then it has to be a us thing, right? So as an educator, as a teacher person, as a mentor, as a tutor, as all of this, I'm like, yo, I just want to be clear about what we're doing in most situations. Whether a person is straight, gay, cisgender, homosexual, lesbian, bisexual. I'm leaving out quite a few types of people, but once again, my work with people has nothing to do with what's in people's pants and stuff. My work with people is based on getting the work done. So for the people who didn't understand how these people can stay promoted and stay in front and have platforms, it's because we need y'all to speak up a lot sooner. It's not your fault that you didn't before. You tried, you made plans, you were coerced, and other things like that has happened. I understand where you're coming from. And I'm saying from now forward, as we teach our youth and as we move on, we have to speak up. We have to say something. We have to speak to the right people, not the gossips, but talk to like, hey, yo, this is what's happening, and my feelings are hurt. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't want to open the door for people to start scrutinizing the things I've done, especially when I'm sitting here like I ain't never did nothing to nobody. It's like I haven't done the things I've heard about, or else it would have reminded me and I would have shut my mouth like a lot of people are. Okay. But as a person who think I'm able to share this information and stand on it, fully really believe that I've not crossed any lines with people that were detrimental to their growth. I've definitely said things and said too much and pointed things out, but physical contact, no. And then not when folks was before 18 or 19. You know what I mean? Like I let that line be the line, you know. Even though in recent years, y'all, I'm 41 now, y'all. I'm learning that it's gonna be very difficult to get me in the same room with a person who is too young to entertain personal relationships with me. It's gonna be very difficult, mostly because I'm not interested in that. You know what I mean? Like, why? What am I doing in the same space with you? You know what I mean? As a mentor, why am I sitting in the same space with you about what? And why aren't we doing that? You see what I'm saying? Um, I've I've put myself in situations that some of the things I heard is similar. You know what I mean? Like I gave people rides, I gave people meals, bought people gifts, you know, but never in a I want something in return or I am what you need way. I am not what you need. I'll say that out loud. Like, yo, I'm not what you need, cuz I'm not what you need. You need what you need. You need to find what you want. And that brings me to my final point, which is I can't promote Brother Craig as a safe person to be around based on these things I've heard. But when I was around him, he was a safe person to be around. He was talking about God. He was talking about art. He can do the art. He can do the church. He can do it. He's doing the work, y'all. So that's why I made the statement. You know, shout out to him and all of that type of stuff. Um, I just literally wouldn't have said that if I knew there was a lot of things that needed to be cleaned up that wasn't in the same space that I'm in, where I like to keep things on the up and up with everybody. I'm very direct. If I'm persistent, I try not to be scary persistent. You know, if first you don't succeed, you know, pick yourself up and try again is what I was taught when it comes to trying to chat with the ladies. And I'm like, hey, sweetheart, what's up? She like, oh, I'm busy. I'm like, you sure? Because these bums is bums and I ain't no bum. And she like, no, 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 I'm good. And I'm like, I'm cute though. Let me make you laugh. Does this work? You know? And she like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, you know what? That's a whole lot of no's. That's way too many no's. I should have just backed off on the first one. But sometimes you have to go with, hey, how you doing? And she's like, you know, she having some feelings of her own. She's her own person. She may feel like, nah, don't mess with me. I'm not worth it. And I'm like, yo, wait, I'm serious, boo. I'm not trying to play games with you. I'm not trying to get in your way. You know what I mean? But those are gray areas that, like, bruh, if this girl is not the right legal age, I just can't even. I mean, even that language is like, eh. And then I just told you I'm 41, bro. How amazing is this 20-something-year-old about to be? How amazing is a young person under 30 about to be? And I mean, I'm not saying that they don't exist. I'm saying there may be a uh, a 21-year-old female who is mentally uh, capable of partnership and working together and understanding that with my wisdom, I'm trying to help her understand some of the things she don't understand yet. I'm trying to learn from her. Like if she able to understand that and handle that, okay. But then for me, she gonna have to have a support system that supports that. Like I be talking to people's parents and they, friends of the family and stuff like that to be like, hey, how do you feel about this? Because I just don't want no issues with nobody. Like I want love. I want peace, joy, kindness. I want forgiveness. I want to be able to say, I'm praying for these brothers, not for their soul because they like each other. No, I'm praying that they can live their truth because God can do something with that. God can't do nothing with you hiding. Adam showed us that. Can't do nothing with your hiding. You got to be able to live who you are. So God can do something about your attitude, your behaviors, your thought process, the way you reach your goals. So it's been your boy Capital DCP. I mean no disrespect to anybody. I only name names because names were named and I drop names on my show. I'm moving on from this on my show because that's not what the show is about. But I am open to interview parties if we're going to discuss healing. I don't want to hear about who was getting more booty than me. I mean, I don't want none of that. No, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I don't want none of that. But it's like y'all having a lot of fun over there. Y'all having a lot of fun. Y'all going on trips and y'all doing a bunch of stuff and y'all mad. And I'm like, yo, there's some people over here who be reading books and sitting at the house watching their kids because we not having all that type of fun. So it's gonna be some jealous folks out here that's mad just because y'all was having a lot of fun. It's people that's mad because that's their family. It's people that's mad because they don't want this to be happening because they read their Bibles because they were taught something else. So let's stop being mad about it and let's start doing something about it. I'm praying for my brothers and sisters, and I'm not being one of those type of people who hurt people because they gotta fake it. We're not faking it to make it in 2025. It's been your boy The Link. We coming out with some new episodes. Shout out to all the people that's